The forbidden fruit sharpened Adam and Eve's senses, and they soon realized that they were naked.
What's wrong?
And they sewed fig leaves together. But it wasn't good enough to cover their shame. Dawn started to break, and they started to panic. Every morning before the sun rose, Adam would talk face to face with God, but he knew he could not stand before him as before in his sinful state. When they heard the sound of Yehovah walking in the garden, they hid among the trees. God called to Adam.
Where are you?
Silence. But God called again and made it known that nothing was hidden from him, and Adam, being convicted, finally spoke.
I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself.
Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?
The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit of the tree, and I ate.
Ooh, blaming God now, huh?
No, that's not what Ah!
Eve, what is this that you have done?
The serpent deceived me, and I ate.
Well, if you weren't so pathetically naive and weak, I did the Almighty a favor by exposing that neither of you are worthy to rule this planet. All authority and dominion has legally been given to me. Now I will rule over the earth.
Silence, Lucifer. Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and above all beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He shall crush your head, and you shall strike his heel. Eve, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be contrary to your husband, but he shall rule over you. Adam, because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return.
Notice three things that the Almighty says. First, the serpent was cursed to eat dust. Seen any snakes eating dust lately?
Nope.
And without God, we are nothing but dust. So that dragon, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, would draw energy from the destruction of people.
Yeah, that's sick and twisted.
To put it lightly, yes, he's a psychopath. And it all started because of pride. The angel that became the devil was commanded to guard and keep and serve Adam. But perceiving that Adam was weaker than him, he got prideful, and he wanted to rule and have dominion over Adam. The very first sin was pride.
I see.
2. The offspring of the woman was singular. One man would come from the woman and crush the serpent, a redeemer, but the serpent would strike his heel and kill him.
I thought the hero of the story wasn't supposed to die.
Only in fairy tales. Every man dies, but only one ever lived a perfect life. But he didn't remain dead.
What do you mean? And you are speaking in past tense. He already came?
Yes. He was executed by crucifixion. A nail was driven through his heel. He died, but God raised him from the dead.
And thus fulfilling the prophecy that the serpent would strike his heel?
Yes. And 3. The thorns. The Redeemer, when he died, was mocked, and the executioners placed a crown of thorns on his head.
This all sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
That's okay. We will get there soon enough. There's another clue. Yehovah then did something totally unexpected, and it is a detail that's easily overlooked, but very important. Though Adam and Eve deserved the death penalty for sinning against a holy God, out of his mercy, an innocent lamb was slain instead, and God made for Adam and Eve garments from it and clothed them. This was the origin of the sacrificial system in Judaism. The worshiper is reminded of the gravity of his or her sin and of the mercy of God, and the hope that one day the Redeemer will come, who is called the Lamb of God, and give his life to save humanity from their sin.
Whoa. That's deep. And, to be honest, a little over my head.
Yes, it's incredibly deep.
Behold, the man has become like one of us in knowing good and evil. Now lest he reach out his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat, and live forever.
Tree of life?
It was another tree in Eden. Its leaves could rapidly heal wounds, and its fruit reversed the effect of aging. If Adam took from that tree, he would never age. We will see this tree appear later in the book.
Yeah, if they could never die, then they might think, why do I need God?
Exactly. It would have been a living hell. Therefore, Yehovah evicted them out from the Garden of Eden, and he placed angels and a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life.
Does this place and tree still exist?
The place, yes. But the tree isn't. Not on earth anyway. The tree was replaced with a cross. The cross on which the Redeemer, the Lamb of God, died.